Okay, so now we're going to finish off by combination reviewing, solving equations, and on top of that, this next part might look a little bit new to you. Again, I don't know. I don't know where necessarily you're all coming from, but what might be the new part for you is justifying your work. You see I have two columns here, a statement column and a reason column. So let's work through this together. This is a nice thing for us to start having you kind of show your work, justify your reasoning. Great that you can get an answer, but you'll see in our class, I also care about how you got to the answer. Now there's more one way to get to it, that's cool, but you do need to show me your work as we go through. So if anytime I tell you to justify your work, I'm looking for this first example we're about to do. The statement side of things is like what you guys have done for years. I got 5x minus 3 equals 42. I want to go through and show one step at a time how you can get to x by itself, how you isolate x. So let's brush off some of that rust. What's the first thing you would do to go from step 1 to step 2? Add 3. And then how would you go, or how would you continue to solve for x? Well, I would divide by 5. And once you get 1x equals 9, x is by itself. You've solved it. Great. Now let's go over to the reason column and talk about maybe what is new for you. For however many steps you have on the statement side, you should have the same amount of steps on the right side underneath the reason. Step 1. Okay, sounds a little weird, but I had to give you an equation to start solving. So the reason for that is what we call something is called given. Okay, given's going to be used quite a bit here, and we'll eventually change that up, but for right now I have to give you an equation to solve. Now your reason side is all mathematical vocabulary, so I don't want anything kind of generic like, hey, I added 3 to both sides. Great, you did, but what property allowed you to add 3 to both sides? And that property to go from step 1 to step 2 is what we call the addition property of equality. So that's what I'm looking for, is not, hey, I added 3. I use the addition property of equality. It's very kind of generic math vocabulary. Same thing to go from step 2 to step 3. Yes, we divided by 9, but we're going to just call that then the division property of equality. And once you have the same amount of steps on both sides, you can match up everything. You're good to go. You've solved for x, we've now justified, and that's going to be just a taste of what we're going to be doing when I say justify your work. Okay, I'm going to pause there.